from there, and he keep posting on the Instagram and things like that, things from the ISIS, from the Daesh, and this and that. He's completely crazy, this guy. But nobody cares about him because everybody knows that he don't have any credibility. Because him, I has to enter the parliament and make the story more color.
I know he's also a seer.
Yeah.
He has this crazy outfit.
Yes, and he said that he know Frank very well, that he was at the airport in the end.
He said he just picked up money from Frank.
Money from
put it in a safe deposit box.
It's not true. They get the money he get was me, that the Americans gave him in a yacht in Cascais just for that. Was not Frank that gave money. He never met Frank in his life.
He said he went to that island somewhere. He went to some island and picked up the money?
No. You went with me to Cascais, and there is a marina there, and there was a boat there, and there were many guys from CIA, from the embassies, and they give me the money in a bag, and I came out with him, and I give the whole money to him, $200,000. That was the money for he keep the mouth shut, you know. But
Frank gave you guys the money, essentially.
No. Frank don't give me money to me, not to him. No, Frank probably had money. I don't know. Maybe CIA pay him. He never told me.
But where did the money come from?
The money come from when I need money. I went to the embassy. They gave me money, and I have the credit card. We have money.
Where did the money come from to finance Camarate?
The money come directly from the CIA that was given to me here in the embassy for David Hasselberg.
So what was Frank's role in this?
The Frank's role was to establish the contacts in England with the guys, with Gary Van Dyke from the MI5 for the other bomb, to develop it, to be with me, to coordinate all the things with me, because I demand that he was here with me, because he was the only guy that I could trust for such an operation. And me and Frank were the only guys that knew that the Prime Minister was there, the Minister of
the... You recruited Frank.
Yes.
Rather than Frank recruited.
No. I almost recruited him because I told to the guys that for that operations I want Frank with me. And then they agree, They meet there to council in the United States that Carlucci was there, Kissinger was there, and everybody was there, the many guys. And they said, okay, Frank goes. Frank stays with you. And then Frank came. And in 1982 he was here again with me, because I was inside, making an inside job for the Angola government, because the South African people want to invade Angola, and there was some dissidents from the Secret Service from Angola that are in that plot, and the president asked me to infiltrate there. And then I call Frank for doing this inside job with me. The guys from Angola paid him, and then we get two reporters from the Express, Joaquim Vieira and Miguel Sousa Tavares, and they make photos with the all meetings we have with the South African ears, the ambassador, the military attaché, Gary Van Dyke, Frank, and others, and this came.
So Jay is lying about having picked up all that money from Frank.
It's not true. It's the story is all here. It's all here.
The story that Frank pushes remote.
That's not true. That's what was not a commando. I told you the detonator. Frankie was with me in a car outside the airport. Just me and Frank in my car.
So the bomb was mercury switch?
Yes, when they did that.
They were two bombs. How about the one attached to the landing gear?
The other one, we said to Little Drix to go again there and get it out. Because one day before, we know the plane was the other one, because both plane were already at the airport.
Of course, Estevez says there were 2 bombs on the plane. His bomb
from Jose. And
attached to the landing gear,
gear?
made from a grenade. That
yes, exactly. That one we don't use it. That was Lee Rodriguez went and got it out, you know. And myself, I sent it to the ocean, you know. I went from a place to.
You know what? I'm interested in Frank Sturgis because, you know, in 1973, somebody showed me some pictures of some tramps who were picked up on the scene of the Kennedy assassination.
Yes, and they told me, but he confirmed that story to me. He said, once I asked him...
One looked like E. Howard Hunt, the other one looked like Frank Sturgis.
No, he was Frank Sturgis, and I'm going to tell what he told me.
And the third guy was a guy named David Christ.
Yes, I know. I know the entire story. I know the entire story.
Christ was a CIA agent who was going to bug the Chinese Communist
Yes,
Party.
I know that, but the guy that real shot was Frank. The guy that real shot was Frank. Fire was shot because in 1986, the last time I saw Frank, or in 1985, I don't remember quite well. 1985, I think. We were in Spain. We went to Almeria, meeting Gordon Goody, the guy from the train robbery. The last guy that is still alive. He has a bar there. The one that was the real brain from the train robbery. And
What's the robbery? Brinks robbery?
Yes, the train robbery in England with Ronald Biggs. You know,
right.
Gordon Goody was the main brain. He was arrested during 30 years. Right. He was in jail. When he got out, he wanted to live in South Spain, near Almeria. He had a bar there. He is still there alive with 90 years, more or less. And we went to visit him with Gary Van Dyke. And that day, Frank drank a little bit, you know, and he talked and said, and he tell the whole story.
Frank didn't drink.
No, but that time he was drinking.
Right.
Yeah, that time he was drinking. We have dinner, we have grilled fish. I still remember grilled fish, shellfish, and the drink. We smoke a cigar, you know, a Cuban cigar that I used to smoke too. And at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, Frank began telling the story because Gary Van Dyke tell us now the real story about Ken. And they said, I was like that and this and that. And they said, and he assumed completely that was him. You know, he has told me before in 1982, and before we talk about this, and he was always laughing when I asked him. They said, "Come on, Frank, you have to tell me the truth. One day I will tell you." And I knew that he was involved because Frank, since a long time ago, he worked with the CIA. He was a contractor from CIA. You know,
yes.
Always.
So what was Frank's role in Camarade precisely?
Precisely was like a coordinator with me, joined the all pieces, joined the people here and the people coming from the United States or Liver North and many other guys. We went to Honduras, we went to Costa Rica, we went to Nicaragua all together. We have been in Washington during the year. Later on, I went to the States. I was with him again. You know, he came here again in 1982 during that operation I told you before. And the last time I saw him, he was in 1985 or 86. Then I never heard about him. And the last time I heard about him was when Jim come here with the book and tell me that he has died, you know.
So who initiated the operation?
Frank Carlucci that called me.
Carlucci
called me to the United States and told me he was not living here anymore.
So you decided to use Frank in the operation?
No. First he talked with me and said, we have a major operation that we're going to need you in Portugal, but you have to get the right guys for that because it's very dangerous and so on and so on. And then he began explaining me, and I said, this is not dangerous, this is too dangerous. This is a prime minister, this is the minister of defense, but we have to do it. Can you do it? So, well, I can do it, but I should get the right people for that. And after this primary conversation, I went to see Frank and I said, listen, they want me to do this. You are interested with me to coordinate all this? If they allowed me, there is no problem. And I came back to Carlucci and I told him. And then he told me that in 24 hours you would tell me. And then they give the agreement, you know. And then from there we start all the steps, you know. From there we start all the steps, me and Frank together. The other guys, they have a very small role, you know.
So what did Frank do to further the conspiracy?
What?
What did he do what steps did he take?
With me, we coordinated we went to England, we went to Paris to talk, to ultimate the last details. Sometimes I said, okay, we're gonna do this. Frank said, no, better not. Let's do it in a different way. Let's do it this. And I agree with him. Sometimes I don't agree with him. I said, no, we can't do that because this is Portugal. We are not in the United States or in another country. We should do like that. We discussed a lot. Then Oliver North came. We discussed with him. Other guys came. We discussed. We Dasselberg. And finally, we have a kind of a map for what we should do. And then we go further. We go till the end.
Why a bomb on an airplane?
Sorry?
Why a bomb on an airplane as opposed to other ways of assassinating someone?
Yes, there was, but they want the mainly thing that Carlucci told me, that this should be made like an accident, to appear like an accident,
right.
Because there are so many ways to do it. Because I myself, if I can do bombs, I can make them.
Yeah, because Frank had done, before the Kennedy assassination, Frank's friend, Alexander Rourke.
Yeah.
You know, he was a patrician. He wasn't going to go along with it.
Yes.
So Frank sent him on some mission, and they contaminated the fuel.
Yes.
And he disappeared and was never heard from again.
Yes. No.
So Frank has a whole history.
Yes.
Of killing people.
Plots and more plots. He's always inside plots. He has a long story. When he is always a very huge mission, a dangerous mission, a plot, they always call Frank, because Frank had the connections for everything, you know.
Right.
If you need a sniper, Frank know where to get him. If you need a guy to make a bomb, Frank know where to get him. Yes, Frank was the guy that I met in my life with more contacts all over the world, you know, and he could speak Spanish too, you know. That was very important, you know. So, and things happen exactly like that. No, there is nothing more. What Jose tells, it's a story. And the only person that knows this, it's real too, because later on she understands my movements, because during those years, my wife and my daughter and my son, they never imagined that I was working with the Americans. Do you know what they think that I was doing? My wife.
Veterinary medicine?
Yes, but when I travel a lot, do you think till some years ago what my wife think that I was an international drug dealer? You know, because money was coming like water. You know, I have credit cards, I have money. I bought a house there, I bought a house there, another place. So I have 5 houses now. I have one. Okay, the Angola house belonged to my parents. Okay, but I have a house in Marbella. I have a house in Holland. I have a house in Florianópolis, Brazil. I have a house here. You know, so this money not coming from the sky, you know. So my wife said, oh, you are doing something strange, you are involved, because many people went to my house like Frank, like Gary Van Dyke and other guys, and she don't understand English, you know. And then for her, she was very strange. All they had people in my house. Dinner, we have dinner together. Then Gary Van Dyke came with his wife and the 2 sons for an holiday holidays here. We joined all together. Then we went to England all together. So for my wife, my life only now, she knows really the truth. And then she completed the puzzle. Said, oh, now I understand why this and this and this and that, why Jose appears there at night when Sacarneiro dead, why was he in panic, why you went to Brazil and you help him, why this, why that. Now she understands. Because I never told was because even the photos I have with Dutta Gervec and German guys and these photos I have in a safe place. Only in the last years I bring those photos to Portugal. I had a Samsonite, a big one, only with photo slides and things like that, with trips I did in Philippines, in Lebanon, in Nicaragua, in Puerto Rico, in France, there and there and there and there and there. Okay, and I did many trips for our pleasure with my wife, my daughter, my son. We went everywhere in July, August, it depends on holidays. But during the year, sometimes I was 2-3 months without seeing my wife and my son and my daughter. Every day I call, okay? 3 times a day, 4 times a day. But sometimes I was 2-3 months without seeing them. You know, and for my wife, that's what a big confusion. I come home and I get out for 1 month, then I get out for 2 months, then I stay 3 months, then I get out another 3 months, and during 16 years that life. You know, they had a partnership with my colleague in veterinary too. We had a clinic, you know, for assistance. But I went there once a month, twice a month. That was only a camouflage, you know. I just put money there to open the clinic.
Right.
Hey, and so it is like that.
The lawsuit that I filed against the CIA to get documents.
Yes, I know that. I have here what you send to Frederick. But you know better than me. CIA never says nothing about those things. They never say.
What they said was the exemptions they cited to circumvent this Freedom of Information Act were the highest exemptions. National security.
Yeah, of course.
And then they said that violations of national sovereignty,
yes,
even if they occurred years later,
yeah,
you know, years ago, not years later, but many years
ago,
past,
yes, I know,
would still have tremendous repercussions. They said release of the documents would disrupt economic and political relations.
It's always like that. It's always like that. It's always like that.
By saying that, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Because once they said that.
But I can accuse them. I accuse them here. I accuse them here.
Once they said that, you know, that the reasons that they gave, you know, this Mary Wilson wrote about 30 pages of reasons why the judge shouldn't release these documents.
Yes.
And those reasons pointed to the fact that the documents exist.
And
when the judge made his decision, he wrote that the CIA had documents that implicated. That means like someone is implicated in a crime.
Of course.
You know, that
I asked you, where is that bag with all the documents?
In something that would be very detrimental to America's national security, and that's why the documents weren't going to be released.
Yeah.
He didn't say the documents didn't exist.
Yes.
He said
we are worried about what the implications in other countries and so on.
So then I knew it was true.
Yes, and I'm here giving my face, and I've given my face, and they know my name, they know my code name, they know my number and code, and everything. I accuse them, and Carlucci too. Okay, he is very sick now. He has Parkinson. He has so many problems, but that's the truth, and the truth must come out mainly because the fucking CIA abandoned always people people that they don't care about
Plausible deniability.
plausible denial. When I did they make me make side plausible denial. Frank too, you know, always, because one day, like today, if I came and I said to somebody, it happens like that, they said, oh, this is a liar, because we have this, you know, it's always, but I'm accusing him. I'm telling you the story from that woman that they want to extradite, that was condemned of 5 years. Why they don't condemn the main guy from CIA that was conducting the operation? Why he is out? They were 27 guys with the American passports. They enter from Rome, from Milan. Where are those guys? Why only that woman that worked more than 15 years for CIA? Why? That's another example of what they did. In opposite, the old KGB, the FSB, they never did it. They never abandoned their men, you know. Right. Only if they betrayed them, like Litvinenko did. You know, so they come and they do the job, but the CIA don't care. They use you like the American policy is. They use everybody like Kissinger said. We don't have friends. We have interests. Kissinger sent me his last book, you know, the New Order, you know. I have the book at my house with his signature dedicated to me, and he tell that we hope we soon shortly forever. It's written there with his signature. Okay, and I send a copy to the Portuguese Parliament of that book. They oblige me to make a call from there to Frank Carlucci, and I call him from there, and I talk with him in front of those guys. For they realize that I was not telling a story. Right. Okay, so what they want more? I am here, they have more 2 years, but now with that things they had, I told you probably I can get out the end of the year. But the thing is now, this prime minister, that was the old prime minister as was in jail, and probably go in jail again, that because the corruption, they discovered 23 million euros in his account, you know. This guy, I worked with him 1 year and a half, night and day. I knew everything about the life. I knew everything about these games, you know. So what they did, they made me another trap to put me more 6 years here, for I don't speak. But they are wrong, AJ, because they know me. And when I get out, so many guys are going to regret what they did to me. I can swear for my granddaughters, AJ. I will swear you for my granddaughters. It can be the last thing I'm gonna do. But those 8 or 10 guys that put me here, they have to pay, and they will pay because they know me and they have friends all over the world.
I know. I felt the same way when they locked me up.
I have friends all over the world.
When I got out,
and I have everything what I need.
I know, but you know, you feel this way.
In a warehouse, I have everything.
All you think about is revenge.
And I can tell you, I know how it is. I have claymores, I have lap mines, I have RPGs, I have Kalashs, I have Makarovs, Tokharevs, I have everything.
Firecrackers. No, I'm telling you. I know how it is. All you think about is
man. You can't imagine. You can't imagine how what my resilience, my resistance come from this hate that I have against the people. You know, because they use me during many years. You know, when they need me, they call me. And that guy, the Portuguese prime minister, he was another coke addict. You know, and he knows that, and I know so many things. So his girlfriend, that time, with contacts with the Minister of Justice, they prepared me that trap to put me 6 years here, you know. That you can imagine this or finish the story. I was living 1 year and a half with Margarita. We broke in the end of 2005, okay? So they accused me of 2 rapes. One at the 7th January 2006, the other one the 14th. 1 week of intermission. So I went to South Spain with that, to a hotel, and I went to a beach area called Figueira da Foz, where is the nice beaches. I was registered in the hotel, so they said that I raped her in 2 different weekends. So if I rape her, I asked you, or a normal person, to the first weekend, why I would rape her? And why in the first week she didn't went to the police, said, this guy raped me, this guy threatened me, this guy bought me a gun, or that, or this other one. A second weekend, and then only the 3rd weekend they came to my house.
They say you kidnapped her or something.
Yeah.
Tied her to a tree?
Yeah. No, not to a tree. That I put him inside the bush, that I point a gun to him, and I said, I'm going to kill you, and so. It's completely crazy, this, you know. I lived with that 1 year and a half. No, this was mountain. Listen, I had, during my judgment, I had 10 witnesses that could go there and said, we saw this and that, she's crazy, she has a bipolar, she has a major depression, like that. So they didn't allow my witness. They said to my lawyer that the schedule for present them was finished. You know, the judgment was closed doors, you know, for nobody here, not the press, nothing.
You supplied her with drugs too.
Yeah, too, but that was not proof. I was not condemned for that. I was just condemned for 2 rapes, you know, in 2 different weekends. That's if I rape you in 1 weekend and you are free, what you supposed to do? Go to the police and tell, oh, this guy.
People don't want to report rapes.
No, but the second rape, the supposed second rape, then she went to the tribunal. He said, oh, he did me this, he did me that, he did me that. But after 3 months, I be in jail. She called to the jail there in Lisbon. The director called me to his cabinet, and she was crying, and I saw immediately that she was sleeping. She has been sniffing or something. I said, oh, look, I know that it's not true. I had a dinner with George Armindo and this guy, and everybody likes you. I'm going to the court, said this is not true.
She recanted the testimony, in other words.
Yeah.
Recanted.
Yeah.
Took it back.
Back, okay. So, but he said, "Oh, call me tomorrow because I'm going to visit you."
Didn't she die shortly after that?
No. She died in 2012. This happened in 2006. Then I get out 1 year and 8 months. I stay 1 year and a half outside. If I want to run, if I feel that I was guilty, I have 3 passports. I have the Portuguese, the Brazilian, and Angolan passport, and I can get a diplomatic passport from Angola. You know, I went to Angola during this period when I was waiting for the appeal outside 4 times, and many ministers, generals, friends of mine, they said, okay, gave the Portuguese passport, let them and stay here. We get you a diplomatic passport. I said, no, my mother is 19 years old. I have my daughters, my granddaughters. I'm not going to do this because I am innocent. I said to them, and I wait 1 year and a half, and the appeal doesn't result. And then they gave me 6 years and 4 months, you know. But this is impossible to happen because I had the ticket restaurants. I was in hotel. Listen, in Spain, I stay at the Torquebrada Hotel. That is a hotel casino. I went to park my Mercedes. She stays alone at the reception. If something wrong happened, she could say, listen, call the police because I was obliged to come here. We went to a restaurant the other day. I went to show my house to her, and then she said, oh, you leave this house, this is so beautiful, you can see this. She said, listen, I am not a gypsy. This house was robbed twice. I asked to rent it. So I had another house in Brazil, I had another house in Holland. I can live now in Holland, Brazil, Angola, and so on. So I rented. So then we came back to Portugal. The other weekend, she called me and I said, listen, I'll come to dinner with me. Yeah, I can't because I go to Porto to visit a friend of mine that is going to be to an operation of cancer prostate, you know, and I go with you. I went with her to Oporto. When I arrived to his house, the guy was already in a clinic, you know, and the son said, oh, my father is going to be operated to tomorrow, and said, oh, okay, tell him that during the week I will come visit. We came back to Lisbon, was late, and I said, let's sit near Figueira. We went to a restaurant, we eat there. She drank a bottle of wine. Then I went to the biggest hotel here in Figueira. She stays at the car to check if they have a room, you know, and I make this to her come, close the car. She came, we were awakened till 12 o'clock, we sleep till 8 o'clock, I have to pay an extra day, you know. We came back to Lisbon, and I let it home, you know, and nothing happened. I said, listen, you are not going to call me every weekend. Okay, now you told me that you are going to make a cure from drugs, from alcohol, and so on. When you are ready, you call me, we go dinner like friends, but I don't want this relationship, because this is a relationship that we discuss every day, because you get drunk, you get high, and I don't want this kind of life. And it happens exactly like that. That's the truth.
All right.
Jesus, man.
We gotta get going. I got a driver's out.
Ah, yes, I know. You told me. Okay, I hope you believe me.
Listen, when you get out, forget about the revenge.
I don't know, really.
You'll only end up back here again.
I don't know. I don't.
You know.
Well, you know that that I have many friends around the world.
You know, but if anything happens to the people that that testified against you,
it can many. Listen, Jay. I can tell you many accidents happened. I can be in Angola.
No, and here all you think about is, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill his wife right in front of him. I'm going to kill his.
No, I never said that. I never said that. Yes,
that's
I know.
How I felt.
Yeah.
My best friend, you know, turned me in essentially.
Yeah.
Set me up. The guy I was buying marijuana from.
Yes. I know.
Arrested.
Jimmy told me that fucking story.
Right. So, but once I got out, you know, I'm on the street. I don't want to get back in. It's 15 years ago. It's over.
But listen, Jay, I can go to Angola. They give me a diplomatic passport.
They don't have extradition treaty?
No, they don't have, because I am an Angola citizen. And accidents can happen. Or they justified me why they did it. Right. And I put a record, a tape record, and they said, okay, tell the truth now for the tape record. Oh, this happened like that. Okay, it's enough. I don't want nothing more. Just the truth. And then I make an appeal to the European Court against Portugal. That's what I really want, you know, because they have to pay me this.
All right. Okay.